Here we go. Hi, everybody. Skating PJ here for another Facebook Live. I am so glad to have you guys along. Well, guess what? The Canadian Figure Skating Championships were fantastic over the weekend. Some great surprises, and well, tell you what isn't a surprise is some of my skating colleagues and just how well they do the coverage of skating. I want to talk about, first of all, Ryan Stevens at SkateGuard Blogspot. You want to check his stuff out because he has great historical perspective. Jackie Wong, who is at Rocker Skating. Bev Smith, who is at Bev Smith Writes. International Figure Skating Magazine. Make sure you get your copy, especially as we go into the Olympics. And then Danielle Earl Photography. Who have I forgotten? I've forgotten Ted Flett. Every time Ted Flett sees me, he promises me a podcast, and then he runs away. That's okay. I will eventually nail him down. There's no way I can't not have a podcast with Ted. Anyway, for all of you guys out there watching, make sure that you check out those people. Courtney, I didn't get over to Section 101. I'm so sorry. That was something that was on my list, but honestly, I was just running like a lunatic all figure skating nationals. Eileen Mortimer, you are absolutely right. Ryan Stevens is an amazing researcher. He's also a really fun guy to have breakfast with, which is what I did. He, Joe, and I went out for breakfast when I was in Halifax. We had a time. That's what we say down east. We had a time. It was fantastic. Okay, so I want to know, were you guys surprised by any of the results that we had at the National Figure Skating Championships? I was delighted to see some of the people step up, like Nam Nguyen, like Alaj Balde. I thought that made for a terrific competition. Paul's going to say something to me. He's got his hand up.
On your announcement earlier today, we asked for some questions. So Elizabeth asked you on the other post, what was your favorite moment from Canadians, or moments? And then we can get
back
to the
okay
last.
Well, one of my favorite moments was the Facebook Live I did with Patrick Chan, where I was able to confirm definitively that he was carded at the liquor store. It was kind of a fun story, so that was a whole lot of fun. It was a real thrill to be in the room when the Olympic team was announced, so that was great fun. I just really loved being at the national championships. There's something really special about it. Did Elizabeth say oh, and Courtney was in the building too. Balde Short, you bet. That was fantastic. And you know what's so funny? I saw him before the competition started, and I gave him a great big hug. He is just the most wonderful young man. And I said to him, you know what? Just go out there and do it. That's all. Just do it. He goes, you know what? You're right. That's what I should do. And I said, you bet. Irene Earl, I am nicely recovered. Are you any relation to Danielle Earl, famous photographer? Joanne Shaw, you're right. Balde's programs were both amazing, and I was so pleased for him to have really sort of risen to the challenge. I thought it was great to see Julianne Seguin and Charlie Bilodeau come back so strongly. It's been a long time for them with one thing and another. And hey, Danielle, your mom was just here. Hi, Irene. So nice to have you here. When the crowd started cheering for Andrew and Caitlin, even before their names were called, that was a great moment. And you know what's so funny? This was in the free skate. When Caitlin and Andrew started to take their position and they heard all the cheering, they thought it was for the skaters before them. They didn't realize that everybody was rooting for them. Pauline is talking about the interaction between Balde and Messing, and that was a terrific moment. As one skater came off the ice, he hugged the other guy. I think it was Alaj hugged Keegan, and it was very, very sweet, you know. Stephanie Gelina, wonderful national and Olympic teams. Hi, back to Stephanie. So nice to have you here. So that's kind of what I thought. The nationals were fantastic. I'm really a proud Canadian, and then to see Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer become the flag bearers for the Olympic Games opening ceremony. I mean, who knew, little Tessa and little Scott, that I first met at sort of 7 and 9 years old, that they would grow up to be the artists that they are. Kirsten Moore Towers and Mike Marinero, I can't remember whose name just you went off the screen, but you're right, they had fantastic skates. So Ryan, you liked Balde, Gabby Delman, Tessa and Scott. I loved the fact that the judges rewarded Tessa and Scott for the outstanding skating that they know how to do. I really still believe that they are the team to beat. Sorry, I've said it all the way along, and I think that that's what's what. Hi, Terry. I'm going over to Paul. He's going to tell me something. Yeah, Paul.
So somebody on the other one asked, did you get a chance to speak with Dylan and Lubov? Because I think it's interesting. What you like to do is have a well-rounded, look at the event in a well-rounded way. It's nice to talk about all of the people that are the winners, but there's also a lot of other stories too that are a little bittersweet, should we say?
Well, and I did have a chance to see both Dylan and Lubov. Dylan more so than Lubov. Gave him a great big hug. He is a lovely young man as well. He was battling with a little bit of an injury, so to be able to skate pairs with an injury to the hand is certainly tough. So I felt that the timing was really, really difficult for him. Courtney, I agree with you. Osmond is a class act all the way, and for her to be such a good sport during the medal ceremony, that's what I say to Caitlin Osmond. Good for her. So, every time I get a chance to sort of say hi to a skater, for better or for worse in terms of their skate, I try to. I had a great conversation with Liam Ferris. He had a heartbreaking short program. His blade, I think, got caught in his pants. And then it sort of like threw everything off, and it was difficult. So he did not have the short program that he was looking for, had a much better free skate, came off, was still very emotional. If you check out his video on my Instagram, I can maybe even get Paul to post it on my YouTube channel. He was really, really sort of cut up, but still a champ and gracious in defeat, and I just so admire him. I'm overjoyed, Sue-Ann, for Tessa and Scott as well. Courtney, I was really sad for Elaine. She did do better in the free program, and it's just, I was talking to, who was I talking to? Well, I was talking to a couple of people. One of the people that I have coming up in a podcast is Sarah Kawahara. And Sarah Kawahara is somebody that grew up in my era of skating. In fact, skated at Leaside and East York skating clubs, and on the weekends at the university skating clubs. She's turned into a legendary choreographer. Won 2 Emmys for a Scott Hamilton special called Upside Down, and for the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2002 Olympic Games. Well, guess what? She's in an upcoming podcast. She's also the choreographer for I, Tonya. But one of the things that we talked about was just how heartbreaking this sport can be. I mean, it's not easy. Timing is everything, and that's what I think is going to make the Olympic Games such an interesting event. So, Paul.
You were talking about who's coming up on the podcast, but who has just been on the podcast?
Mitch Islam. Is that who you meant? Okay, you've got to listen to Mitch Islam's podcast, and you want to know something really funny? Alex Paul was in a car with me, and I said to her, the only way you can be in the car with me is if I can record you. So Mitch Islam and his partner Alexander Paul is upcoming in a podcast, but have a listen to him. He's now the technical representative for Jackson Skates. He's at most competitions, and he is just a real treat. So you want to go to openkwongdoor.com and go on my side of the website, not Paul's, my side, and you'll be able to find Mitch Islam, or just tweet at me.
I just posted it right now.
Paul just posted it. Wait, there it is. Episode 52. Oh my goodness. Will I ever shut up? That's what people want to know.
So what's the next step here? What happens now? The U.S. Nationals is over, Canadian Nationals is over. What's happening in this period now?
Well, the European Championships are this week, and you know what? On Saturday, the Canadians who are competing at the Four Continents Championships are headed out. Now, what's interesting about the Four Continents Championships? Lots. One of the things that I really like about it is that it's an opportunity for that second group of skaters to sort of step up. So I remember well in 2010 as a whole bunch of ice dancers led by Tessa Virtue and Scott Moyer headed off to the Vancouver Olympic Games. Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Pogier did not make the cut to go to the Olympics, and they went to the Four Continents instead. And you know what? That's where they won the Four Continents title. So sometimes this is a chance for people to really step up. So Courtney, I don't know about that. Courtney. I think that Larkin earned her spot, and I'm really pleased for her. This is her second consecutive year on the national team. And you know what? It was a real dogfight for that third medal placement at the very least, and then whatever the committee had to do to try and decide who was going to go, that was something completely different. But congratulations to Larkin Osman on a bronze medal finish. Good for you. So people are getting ready for the Olympic Games. I've got one more Facebook Live and then I go. You're right, Courtney, not enough experience, but you get experience by, well, getting experience. So that's how it works. That's what I meant with the whole thing with Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Poget. Going to the Four Continents Championships for them was a chance to put themselves on the skating map as Four Continents winners. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens a week and a half from now. Paul? Over to Paul.
No, I'm just listening.
He's just listening. That's Paul's listening face, which you can't see, but I can. Oh, wait, it's time for a drink. Oh, wait, I happen to have a content store mug. Paul got this done for us. There's only 2. Can't have one. You know, it's very interesting, Stuart, because, Joe, it's very interesting because I thought, too, that there might be some North American skaters who would head to the Four Continents Championships and then would stay over, already being in Asia, already becoming acclimated to the time difference, and then that might make the transition to Korea a little bit easier. Ryan, who would I like to corner for an interview in Pyeongchang? That's a very interesting question. I'm gonna get back to you. And then Piper and Paul's free dance, I love it. I think it's perfect. Great transition from their Perry Mason to this James Bond themed free dance, and I just think it's terrific. So good for them. I was really pleased again for Caitlin and Andrew to be able to sort of pull an outstanding performance out in their free dance. And I think that they just really took advantage of the moment to just show what they can do. And you know what's so interesting, Paul? It's not always the medal. Sometimes people will go back and look at the performances too. And I also did a fun little Facebook Live at the tail end of the gala. So you have to make sure to check that out. Another Facebook Live as well. That I did on CBC Olympics, which is also posted on our... Is it on our YouTube channel, Paul? Are they all on?
Yes, the 3 that you did, Patrick Chan, Megan and Eric, and
Caitlin and Andrew are all on my YouTube channel. So, yeah. Joseph, we are going to win the team event this time around. That's what I've decided. So there, I've said it. I'm just going to do my predictions early.
Why are you saying that?
Because you know what? Canada is ranked first. Megan DeHamel said she's right. Canada is ranked first. So just go out there, kids, and skate. You love to skate. Show us what you can do. In truth, I'm proud of all the skaters. The pressure that they face at the Olympic Games is enormous. So whatever they can do to skate well is terrific. Thank you, Kim, for agreeing with me. I really appreciate that. Not everybody agrees with me, that's for sure. Courtney just said she liked Piper and Paul's free dance better. It's not what you like better, it's what's getting you the better results. So if you're going to be competing and you want to win, then that's what you have to do. Kim, thank you for stopping the madness with Les Mis. It has to stop. Okay, and you guys all know La La Land and Iceland. I hate both of them. No more La La Land. Don't go to Iceland. Trust me. I make very good Instagram pictures, apparently, from Iceland. Laurie Ewing from Canadian Press was going to go based on my pictures. I stopped her. Don't worry. So it's been kind of an interesting week. I think that those skaters who are getting ready to go to the Olympic Games, they've just got sort of one more week. I don't even know how they stay focused because when I get excited, Paul, I just can't even stop myself.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that's true. Courtney. And we were going to be such good friends, and now it's all over. La La Land. Paul, you know how I feel about that movie.
I liked it. I
know. Elizabeth, it was great to see you in person, too. Okay, Pet Who Wants to Live Forever? Not me. I have to keep hearing that song when I'm 100. You know what, Ryan? You crack me up. I wish we were at competitions together. How much fun would we have if we were all sitting in a row together? That's what I want to know. So who do you guys think is going to happen to what's going to happen at the Four Continents Championships. What do you think is going to happen at the Olympic Games? I want to send it over to you guys so that you can let me know who's who and what's what. And I'm not seeing a whole lot of hearts going across the screen. Okay, a couple of thumbs. There's one. Okay, St. John, you better be there, Stevens. Be there or be square. That's all I'm going to say. So I want to see some more hearts going across the screen. Paul, I'm kind of sad about that. Nobody loves me. Okay, thumbs up. Yeah. Yuzu and Janny? Who's Janny?
Patrick Chan?
No, Janny. Yuzu and Janny. Kim, I don't know who Janny is. Yuzu is on the ice training apparently. Thank you for the hearts, everybody. Paul may be doing that, I'm not sure, just to appease me and get me to stop yammering at him. No, Courtney, we cannot agree on No More Moulin Rouge because there's that Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend kind of song, which is a whole lot of fun. There's some great music in that, but no more Tango Roxanne, except if Tessa and Scott do it, in which case we can have it all day long. So there's certain pieces of music that just are iconic and live in my brain, and that's one of it. Oh, Yevgenia. That's right, Medvedeva. She's competing at Europeans this week. I am looking. That's right. Yes, it is, Kim. I just thought for some reason, since you had Yuzuru, that I was looking for a man. Can't get it all right, can I? Anyway, so I think that Yevgenia, I'm looking very forward to seeing how she's skating. That's going to give me a bit of an indication because I have to write a preview for CBC Sports, CBC Olympics, to indicate who I think is going to take the Olympic title. So for the women, I want to see Yevgenia skate. I want to see Alina Zagitova skate. And then I'll be able to kind of make my determination. Team gold for Canada, Sue Ann Wu. Yep, I think so too. And that's what I've heard too, Elizabeth, about Yuzuru, as he's back on the ice and he's training. And you know what, if there was ever a person who could laser focus into his goal, I think it has to be Yuzuru Hanyu. So I'm looking forward to seeing some rookies who are going to the Olympic Games. Let's see if you guys can name all 6 rookies. Can you? Yeah, Gabby is a dark horse for gold for sure. So's Caitlin. I think it's going to be a real battle. Karolina Kostner as well, and then the Russians. I hope that Javi can get a season together too. Joe, I love that kid. He's such a nice guy. So who are the 6 rookies? This is a skill testing question. You might be able to get a mug. I'm lying. You won't be able to get a mug. There's only 2, one for me and one for Paul. Who do I think will be a surprise dance team at the Olympics? Interesting. Well, I think Canada and France have got the lock on the top 2 spots of the podium. I'm interested to see, I was very surprised in a good way to see Maddie Hubble and Zach Donahue. I was losing my marbles there for a second. So they're the American champions. So maybe, I mean, I think any one of those 3 American teams could pull out a bronze. I think that Caitlin Weaver and Andrew Broget could pull out a bronze. I think that all kinds of people could. Even Piper Gillis and Paul Poirier. Kim Palmer, I'm talking about the Canadian rookies going to the Olympic Games. There are 6 of them. Keegan Messing is 1. Larkin is 1, you're right, Ryan. Michael Marinero, Piper Gillis, Julianne Siga, and Charlie Bilodeau. Good for you. Capellini and Lanotte. I love those 2. I'm not sold on their material being as strong as they know how to be. So, you know, in a battle between Capellini and Lanotte and Weaver and Poget, I would give it to Weaver and Poget. That's just me. What about you, Paul? Paul was just throwing his voice. That was Paul barking. Was it? No, yes. It wasn't. Anyway, so I think that you guys need to stay posted. And don't forget, we've got one more Facebook Live, pre-Olympic, pre-Four Continents, which is going to take place next Wednesday. Same bat station, same bat time. Andrea, Mateo, I'm going to really miss Tessa and Scott too. Thank you, Irene. I'm not happy with the material either. Anyway, guys, I got to run. So thank you so much for joining me again. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you next week. And don't forget, podcast is Mitch Islam this week, and who knows next week because Paul and I are confused. Bye for now.